Like the great Queen Latifah said, ladies first. Welcome back, people. Jack of all spades CLT. We have a special guest that happens to be a lady. We have our hot girl expert, Tam.
Hey y'all, how you doing?
What's going on with you, Tam?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Good.
So before we got on the mic, we talked about a little bit where you was from. So shout them out for the people.
I'm from originally Los Angeles, California, by way of Nevada, Las Vegas. Now Charlotte, North Carolina.
Always doing it for the city. We're gonna big up LA. Rest in peace,
Whoop, whoop.
neighborhood nip.
Marathon continues.
Come on now. Las Vegas, one of my favorite cities. Put it all on roulette. Red 19. Then of course we got the 704, 980. Uptown, downtown, Southside, Northside, University. All that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Now let's get to the gentleman that you know. Front and center, we have Banks on the beat.
Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Usually why BB get the first oop. I'll take that.
We gonna flip it
Yeah. Counterclockwise. Let's get it. Banks in the building.
Come on now, Hempstead's finest. You already know
You
what it is.
heard.
To my left, we have the pride of Africa, Ken YBB.
Yo. Shout out to all my Africans. Shout out to Madagascar, Egypt.
Muhammad Salah, you already know what it is. And as always, I'm the beloved one, London's own, DJ Spellman. Hey guys. Alright, so Tam, let's start it off.
What's good?
Ladies first, this is about you today. Tell the people about yourself.
Well, originally I'm from California. I lived there 23 years. And then I moved to Vegas for a couple years. I want to turn up a little bit, So I went out there, partied like almost every day. And then
Good job.
I ended up meeting somebody, and then we ended up getting in a relationship, and then we ended up moving out here. He's from the South, so we moved here. We ended up getting married, and then that didn't work. So, just been chilling. I have a beautiful son.
Let me just say this before you continue on with that
Yes.
story, because black men don't cheat. So I don't know what happened, but I know he didn't cheat.
So you say it was me, huh? Oh, bro. Okay, I see how this gonna go. Little 3 against 1.
Okay, so now that you're here in the South, Charlotte, NC, what's going on in your life these days?
Nothing major, just adjusting. I've been here about 8 years now, and I'm like, man, time flies. I love it out here, so I've been raising my son, and just adjusting to life and, just enjoying it pretty much,
Well, let me big up the single mothers because my sister is a single mother, so
Yes.
I know the struggles y'all go through, so definitely want to big you up on that.
Thank you.
But as we get into the topic today,
Okay.
we talking about hot girl summer, and you the hot girl expert.
Lord, I swear.
Little sweat, little glisten going on.
A little glisten.
All right, so
Melanin.
what does being a hot girl even mean? Is it a positive or a negative thing to you?
I mean, it just depends on how you take it. I feel like the first time we hear hot girl or whatever, it's from the hot boys back then, BG, Wayne, and all of that, because that was my song.
Yeah.
But, and then, Meg Thee Stallion reintroduced it, so it's just like, and then she put her own little spin on it. So it's pretty much like, be you, do what makes you happy pretty much, go get a bag or, be happy pretty much, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I think I know women think it's more of a negative thing, but I'm on the same thinking as you. To me, it's a positive thing. Like, being a hot girl, hot boy, you living your best life.
Right.
Like, you doing what you gotta do. Like, it doesn't have to be you out here, going crazy in the streets. You know what I mean?
Like,
It's
you ain't got to. If that's what you choose to do, hey,
it's your decision.
Get your bag that way.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody judging you. But, I mean, like, do what makes you happy. If that trying to make you happy, then so be it. If going to a job 9 to 5 makes you happy and, you get your bag that way, then so be it,
To each his
Everybody
own.
has choices,
No doubt.
True.
So, YBB, what you think? Hot girl, what does it mean to you?
I mean, I think it's off that. I think it's described from that Steve Harvey book. Think like a man, but I don't know the name of the book actually. Act like a lady, think like a man. That's the name of the book. It's described from that. So It's just, doing what you want to do.
But is that in a negative sense or a positive sense?
I don't know. I'm kind of in between. I feel like, shit.
It depends on the person as well. So it's
Yeah.
like, I believe it's like you're thriving or being the best version of you can be. But, at the same time, it's picked up as negative connotations from others who don't agree with that. Like the city girl, like is there a difference between the city girl and the hot girl summer? Like what's...
I don't think so. Like, my opinion, I don't think it's a difference. But, like, I guess if you listen to City Girls music or whatever, it's a little more, like, graphic. But Meg Thee Stallion graphic, too. But,
True.
I mean, like, it's a lyric Young Miami saying. She say something crazy, and it was like, eating me on my period. And I was like, ugh,
Red light. Red light means stop. Red light means stop.
But it was just like, it was a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was too much. I was just like, I feel like it's a difference or whatever. Like, City Girls is more, ratchet or, but that's my, Scamming, yeah. Go get some credit cards real quick.
To answer your question, though, I think it's like this. If you own up to it, it's not a negative thing. But if you don't own up to it, you acting one way, you're doing a different, your actions are different, then it's a negative thing in my eyes. That's how I see it. If you gonna say, hey, I'm out here, I'm smashing mad niggas, okay, cool, I own up to it. All right, cool, that's your thing, you're doing your thing. But you out here saying, nah, I'm innocent, I had this one dude, but you out here smashing mad niggas.
Like you said,
it's a negative.
Stop trying out here.
Yeah, I tried. You know what I'm saying?
I know we mentioned Meg just a minute ago when you say, bringing back the hot girls and compared to the hot boys and the Cash Money and everything. Do you think, well, obviously Meg had brought it back, so is that the person you think is the leader of the whole movement of the hot girl summer?
In my opinion, yes, I think she brought it back, or she glorified it, you know what I'm saying? If it was, if people are already doing it, it was like she made it something bigger, and she put a definition behind it and a title and all of that. So it's like Hot Girl Summer, City Girl Summer, Young Miami was saying City Girl Summer. So it was just like, I feel like she put the definition behind it,
Right.
and everybody jumped on that bandwagon.
That's how it go.
I definitely want to say that's probably one of the biggest, hashtags or trends for this past summer.
Right.
Either you was a hot girl, you was a city girl, doing your thing.
Pick a side.
But I think this, with City Girls, though, I think that's more so scamming niggas, though. Like, City Girls out here scamming niggas, though.
It's like you trying to get the bag by any means.
By any
you know what I'm
means.
saying? Like, if I gotta go do this or, do him or, whatever.
Like you said, they more ratchet. And the hot girls probably more classy.
Right.
I could even say that. Like, it could be the same thing, but it just depends on how you define your summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you want to do things. Like, you could be on a straight narrow path and do the right thing, and that could be a hot girl summer, you know, because you can get your own bag and plan your own trips and go with your girls and all that, and then you can be getting a bag from a dude, or going by any means, and he paying for your stuff, but you still you got a hot girl summer because you still going on them trips,
Get it how you
so
live.
exactly
And live with it.
exactly.
All right, so here at Jack of All Spades, we have our world famous segment, Top 5 Dead or Alive. So, Tam, being our hot girl expert, what are the 5 things that you need to have a successful hot girl summer?
5. Stay hydrated. Drink you some water.
Very important. Very important. Gotta keep it moist.
You gotta have a bag. You gotta by any means, like whatever you do.
No broke chicks. No broke chicks.
Exactly. Let's see. Hot girl summer. You gotta be able to enjoy everything. Enjoy life. No insecurities.
Speak on it.
No insecurities. And do what makes you happy. Be you. Number 5. What's number 5, y'all?
What you mean? This is your question. We have no experience being hot girls.
I mean, like, I'm trying to think on the spot. I'm like,
What else has completed your summer? That'll be your
What's
fifth one.
completed?
What's completing your summer for you?
I mean, I'm doing what makes me happy. So, I mean, like, shit, I'm happy right now, you know. I'm in a position where everything's going right, you know. So, I'm just like, my happiness is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you know.
Facts.
Big up.
You know what I'm
Big
saying?
up.
Facts.
No doubt. Appreciate that. So, further on with that, what are some examples of hot girls doing their thing? Like, from your perspective, who's been doing their thing, hot girl summer, as you've seen it?
I mean, I've been doing my thing, first of all.
Shout
know,
out,
my
Tam.
confidence.
Almost.
Whoop, whoop.
Shout out.
I've been doing my thing. You know, I get my own bag, you know, make sure everything's good, you know. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Meg Thee Stallion, she's been doing her thing. I follow her on Instagram. I think, you know, regardless of the negatives or whatever, and, you know, I think she's a good great lyricist, you know what I'm saying, regardless of, you know, the negatives that come with her, you know, but who else? Let me see. You got one?
I got Serena on that list.
Yes.
All right,
Serena
thanks. Speak
Williams
on
on
it.
Okay.
I got
Of course.
her on there. I got Lori Harvey on there.
Why you got her
Whoa.
on there?
Oh, she
She got Bag Diddy.
Yeah,
She got the money.
you know, honorable mention Cassie. We'll put Cassie on there.
Yeah.
Honorable
I'm
mention.
glad she found her happiness, you
Yeah.
know, like.
Is she pregnant too?
She
Yeah,
pregnant.
and
Yeah.
she got engaged.
By the
Yeah.
trainer, the trainer that Diddy
Mr.
bought her.
Fine.
You got Diddy out there
Yes.
puts in the
Yeah.
air
Yeah.
like you better do.
That's why he probably had to get Lori to go replace her.
Hey man, he made a love connection either way, you know.
Yeah.
True.
Put somebody
Things
on.
happen for a reason. Who else?
Who you got over? I know you got.
Oh, I mean, I got a nice little list, though.
Okay, go ahead.
Like you said, definitely want to big up Meg Thee Stallion. You know, she the reason for the season, like
Of
they
course.
say. So I'm gonna take it with sports. Three things. The women's national soccer team, they won the World Cup this summer.
Right.
Okay.
So big
Shout
them up.
out.
They living their best life.
Whoop, whoop.
So in the NFL, there's a player called Le'Veon Bell. A lot of people know him. Former Pittsburgh Steeler, now on the Jets. So he had 2
Shout out.
live-in girlfriends, and they robbed him.
Oh, wow.
So they was on their hot girl stuff.
Yeah.
them
City
up.
girl
They
shit.
got a bag.
I'm not city girls,
girl.
straight scamming. But then we got Blueface, you know, bust down.
Oh, my
The same
goodness.
situation. Had some chicks run up in his spot,
Oh, my
calling
goodness.
themselves his girlfriends, and they got to the bag by any means necessary.
By any means.
Of course, we're gonna shout out J Lo, turning 50, looking like she about 24.
Oh, my goodness. She
Yes,
look
sir.
good. Heck
Sir.
yeah.
Then we got some more vets in the game. Lil Kim, Maya, and Chili. They got a TV show coming out.
Oh yeah.
Is it the cruise?
Yeah,
That cruise?
yeah.
I
Yeah,
tried to watch it. I ain't gonna lie.
you gonna watch it? Don't stop it. Then last but not least, I got Lena Waithe. She got a deal with Amazon
Oh, yeah.
Studios, so she about to do some big things.
That's what's up.
So big her up as well.
Yes. Woo.
So YBB, who you got for the hot girls doing it this summer?
I mean, you can't forget Cardi B.
Oh.
She's steady climbing still.
She had like 3
Yeah.
hot girls summers.
Yes. She definitely is.
I can't think of any other girls that come to mind who doing their thing right now. Bank stole mine with Serena, but
Shout out again, man. She deserves it.
Yeah, 2 times.
2 times.
Coming back after a child, still playing,
Right.
killing them. Come on, man. Wonder Woman out there.
Oh, for real, for real.
But yeah, I can't think of anything. But we should move on to the next subject though.
Uh-oh. What it is, what it is.
What you got?
So, Tam, what are your thoughts on the cucumber challenge
Oh my goodness. Oh,
for the vegans?
first of all, that's embarrassing. Like,
Is it though? Is it
that's
embarrassing?
embarrassing. Who want to look and be like, oh, that's my homegirl sucking on that thing? Like, who want to? Who?
Sure.
For real? Yeah. And then you see the one with Alexis Sky.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was just like, whoa, that was
I
seen
intense.
that one.
But they said the girl was like a porn star or something, so she probably got some bookings after
She
that.
must
Like,
have
be
been,
honest.
right?
Yeah, so I was just like, but yeah, I don't condone all of that, you know.
So
To
what?
each his
So what I'm
own,
hearing
but
is you've never done the cucumber challenge.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So you saving that for a little man. He got to eat them vegetables.
Like maybe if I get reburied and all of that, you know, he could be blessed with that. But
Message to the listeners out there.
If you listen,
But,
She single mother. Hey, stop playing.
No, I would not I'll be doing that on the Instagram.
Matter of fact, Tam, shout out your IG.
It's Lights Tamera Action.
Oh, that's swag.
Yes.
Gentlemen of the podcast,
Lights,
you heard
Camera,
it.
Action.
You heard it. You put that ring on, you might get that cucumber challenge.
Y'all can see me.
I know I seen Karuchi on the joint. She was saying she was in the grocery store. She was looking at cucumbers with disgust in the grocery store.
It's too
Like
much.
now your mind is somewhere else, but it's like, damn, as soon as you see a cucumber in the grocery
Right.
store.
You be sizing them up. Like, nah, I'm good.
Alright, so moving on next. Do you think the hot girl summer wave's a trend? Or
I think
is
it's a trend.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's a trend. It'll die down by winter. We'll have a winter, cold summer. I mean, winter, a cold winter. I'm sorry, a cold winter. A cold girl winter. Yes, did I get that out? A cold girl winter. And then, you know, and everybody be pregnant because it's cold.
Oh.
You know, they get cuddled up. Nah, I'm joking.
Uh-oh.
Nah.
That's a perfect segue to the
Yeah,
next
right.
question.
That was an alley-oop for me because, you know, what I'm looking to know is how do you upgrade from a hot girl summer to prepare yourself for cuffing season?
I mean, once it's, you know, fall starting to roll over, so I'm about to wear some sweaters. So
Them leggings.
it's time to.
Ooh.
I had some leggings on today. I didn't
Oh.
even think about that. No, but
Turtlenecks.
Sweater
right.
weather.
But I mean, like the transition, you start getting a little boo there, you know. So and then by winter, get them Christmas bags.
Ladies and gentlemen, some of y'all might get dumped around that time, so you already know what it is.
Right.
Don't get too upset. You got to charge it to the game.
Right.
Charge it to the game.
Shit. I feel like if you a hot girl during the summertime, just keep that same energy.
Right.
Ain't no coming for you.
Right.
Try that shit out. Try again next summer and change your ways, and then
Oh, man.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Nah, you got to get the people home, though. You got to get a young lady's home.
That's when you start getting humble around fall. So, alright, you know, it's time. Birthday coming up, you know.
Can't be out there too much in them streets.
Right. Start putting some clothes on.
So, as far as females and female unity and like women competing with each other, what do you think is like any factors that have to do with that? Why do you feel like women might feel like they need to compete with each other?
I believe it has nowadays a lot to do with social media. You know, you go in the shade room and you got you know, who wore it the best, you know, so it's like always put in women. You see men, them doing men here and there, but it's always women, you know, like it's always, you know, social media and it's like, oh, who wore this better, who did this better, you know, somebody said this about this, you know, this person. So it's, you know, and you know, nowadays everybody looks at social media, so it's like, you know, you're getting compared pretty much. So it's like, you know, they see that and pretty much run with it, you know. So
That's crazy. I never really thought about it like that, but that's like another factor that, you know, is causing it. So,
yeah,
I mean, as a female, I guess to have to feel like you have to outdo somebody every time, that probably puts you on a little bit of defense all the time too. So.
true. And then men, you know, men do it too. You know, they put women against each other. You know, they say stuff, do stuff. You know, they have 2 or 3 women, and then you know they competing or you know they going at it that way as well. So it just depends.
Yeah, the male ego go hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, so how do we get, I know we're talking about the female perspective, the women to get out of that mindset, to feel like they don't have to compete, like be real secure within themselves. Like just hearing you today, seeing you for the first time, just feeding off your energy, very secure in yourself. So what are some tips that you can give to the young ladies out there to be like, you know what, you don't have to always just listen to what a man say or be put in this position to be competing with somebody else. Like what are some things that have helped you get to where you at right now to be real secure in what you got going on?
To be honest, self-love. I mean, like God gave you whatever you have for a reason. So it's like you either get the money and change it or you just embrace it and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's self-love. I'm not going to change myself. You know, like I love myself. So I'm like, hey, you know, this is what God gave me. This is what I'm going to work with. So, I mean, like, I might as well love it. You know, I'm going to definitely embrace what I have and live my life.
Big up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-love, you know what I'm saying?
Ladies,
Yeah.
and even some gentlemen, like, I know it's a whole big thing right now with black people and mental health, and we haven't been taking it as serious as we should years in the making, but now it's coming to the forefront. And I think that plays a big part of it. If you love yourself, then what's the stuff that people say is not going to get you too down, because you know who you are, and you know what you bring to the table.
Can't change it, embrace it.
Yeah, like you said, get the bag and change it. Only two options, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, big up on that.
Yeah, I want to take the conversation somewhere else right quick. You know, there's a discrepancy between males and females getting paid and doing the same job skills. Had the same skill set for the same job. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, first, it's not right. It's not fair, you know. But I've always thought, like, what if people talked about what they get paid? Because a lot of people, like, I mean, I'm honest, like, I don't tell people what I get paid, you know, like, but if, you know, people were in the workspace and they spoke about, or they talked about how much they get paid, do you think that would open a conversation of finding out, oh, you get paid this, why am I getting paid this, you know? And then you can take it to your boss or, you know, the higher up or, you know, and see what's the difference. You feel me? Yeah, like, right. Why is he getting paid more than me and we do the same job functions, you know? Like, so I think if people communicated more, because people just, you know, some people don't like, you know, they don't like talking about it. But if people as a whole communicated more, you know, will we be able to, you know, bridge that gap? Are people willing to bridge that gap? You know,
True.
Like some guys are like, nah, like I'm stronger than you, or you know, my mindset is, you know, I got a degree or I got this or whatever, so I should get paid more than you. But if we doing the same job function, you know, we should be equal at the end of the day.
Even
you know?
with a woman having the same degree,
right.
same job skills, it happens. You know, we definitely want to highlight that. Because, like I said, this is about the ladies today, so we want to big it up in every aspect. But I agree with you. People are scared to have that conversation. Like a man that feels the same way would be like, well, I don't want to be that guy that, you know, stirs the pot. You know what I'm saying? But then for the woman, it's like, well, I don't want to speak on it because I might lose my job. Right. They might retaliate against me, which is wrong also.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to put their position in shambles to be able to lose it for equality. Right. And I mean, that's what it takes for it to happen.
Yeah.
I agree.
True. I mean, but what do you think, how could that dialogue get started though? Like how could that environment to where people are more freely to talk about what they make, how could that happen? Do you think that's a thing that could happen? People are like, hey, you know what? Hey, I make this much. Hey, I make this much. And why is there a difference? I mean, we know, like with sports, that's broadcasted. You know, so you know you had this female soccer player, male soccer player. That's broadcasted what they make. But you know, the regular folks who have a regular job, that's not broadcasted. So everybody keeps their their salaries, their income to themselves, unless you know you're really close to the individual when you have that conversation. But like, how can you change that environment to where everybody has that conversation up front, saying, "Hey, I make this and make this," and where's the discrepancy at? Or is that even possible?
I don't know. Like, to be honest, that is a good question. I mean, there can be somebody at a workplace and, you know, start a petition or, you know, figure out different ways to get it to corporate, you know, or talk to people, you know. A lot of people, you know, at jobs, they don't even get along, you know.
That's true.
So it's like, you know, find that one person that get along with everybody and, you know what I'm saying, be undercover, you know, like, or, you know, just round everybody up and be like, hey, you know, Keisha getting paid this and, you know, John getting paid this, you know, and we just trying to, you know, bridge that gap because we all do the same job, you know, so let's work together and get everybody paid, you know. Yeah. So I hope that answers the question.
I think like with anything that we're fighting for is gonna take time. I mean, that goes for every aspect of everything we're fighting for is gonna take time, but I really do salute the women that are out here doing it because it takes for somebody to take that first step for anything to happen.
Right.
We weren't talking about this last year, so we don't know how long anything is gonna take, but the conversation is happening. We're talking about it right now, so
True.
that's a step.
I agree.
Yeah, no doubt. So we just touched on like female unity or the lack thereof. Then we talked about the discrepancy with men to women pay. So I wanted to ask you this, Tam. What are some issues or some things that you and your homegirls are talking about? Like, what are some things that y'all have in y'all little circles that may not be out where everybody can hear these conversations? We're trying to give you that platform to say, this is some things that women are talking about. So the men that's listening can be better men to help with the situation, or there's a homegirl out there listening and say, you know what?
Call
I was
them out.
thinking that same thing too.
Call him out.
Kind of put you on the spot. Like,
Talk to him, Tam.
See, we talk a lot of shit.
no, that's fine. Look, I'm glad you said that though,
I'm
Tam.
like, oh my goodness.
Because this whole thing, it started out with the hot girl. We was bullshitting, but now we talking about some real stuff too.
I mean, we
like,
talk about a lot. Me and my homegirls, we talk about dating since we're vast majority of us are single. Like, we talk about dating and the lack thereof of like potentially, good men. I'm not saying y'all, but it's just
we
like,
know. We all good in here.
But it's like, you keep finding, you feel like you finding the same type of guy, and it's like, okay, they say you attract, what what
You are what you attract.
you are what you attract. Thank you. So it's just like, we try to go out our element and we try to do this, and it's just like, we on our path, and like, but it's more like dating and, taking care of our kids and, different things like that. What else we talk about? Talk
Hold on a
about
second,
work.
though. You said you attract the same kind of guy. So describe this kind of guy y'all attract.
I'm not gonna talk about who I attract.
Talk that
We
shit.
ain't
Put
gonna
it
talk
on
about
wax,
that.
Tam.
Oh my
Hot
goodness.
girl expert, put it on wax.
No, I don't got no PhD in this.
Look, this is how we protect the innocent. You don't use names.
No names.
No names.
Well, I attract guys that start off a certain way and then they get lazy. And it's just like, like for real. Like, I'm a consistent person, I like to keep things consistent. So it's just like, a guy, he'll do this and he'll do that or whatever. And it's like, okay. And then I'll get in my little routine, and it's just like, he'll start slowing down. And it's like, okay, so you talking to somebody else? Or, we need to have conversations at this point, like, so I don't. It's stressful. I'd be like, I'm better out by myself.
I think a lot of women, carry that same sentiment because I've heard it from a lot of my homegirls too. Like, of course, in the beginning, they doing everything.
It's the honeymoon stage.
Yeah, but then something may happen, and then it's like they kind of pull back, or you're not talking as frequent, or you're not seeing each other as frequent.
Right. My thing is honesty. Like, as long as you're honest with me, I can move a certain way. You feel me? So it's like, okay, if you're going to be like this, like, all right, cool. Give me the option of sticking around or walking away. A lot of guys, they want their cake and eat it too. My observation. So they want their cake and eat it too. So it's just like, I can't be the side chick or the, what I'm saying? Like, I'm not willing to do that. So it's like, I got to walk away, but give me that option. But they don't want to say nothing because it's like, oh, well, I don't want you mad, or, oh, I don't want this. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you cool as hell, so I want to keep, I'm just like, nah, like, I'm good.
Playing
enjoy.
games, pretty much
Yeah,
playing games.
playing games. I'm like, we too old for that. When that stop? Shit.
No lie, like
We
I've
senior
talked to some
citizens.
older individuals, like mid-40s, and they like females.
They still going through that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm like,
Lord,
dang.
when is it over?
maybe around age 70, they
Hey,
slow
remember?
down. They'll get serious at
Get
age
my
70.
AARP card. Go to Denny's real quick.
I said get the marriage, honeymoon, and funeral all the same
Same
week.
time.
Oh, man. As long
And
as
you
you
be a
got
single
life
girl 'cause you
insurance.
collect the check.
Exactly. I'm
Scam
like,
it.
what's your life insurance
Scam it
policy,
so
sir?
Gotta know these things, love.
Man.
Shit.
So besides the dating thing, I know we was really hashing on that, but besides that, is there any other things? Like, I really didn't want to take it to dating, but you wanted to take it, so
That's
we
what
took it.
you asked me.
Yeah,
what
you
we
right,
talk about.
you right. But anything
talk about
besides the
that.
dating?
What else? We talk about work and, you know, bettering ourselves or whatever. Because I was thinking about going back to school. I have a BS in criminal justice. So,
Big up.
yeah, I was like, maybe I should go back to school and, you know, so I can pursue what I've, you know, been wanting. So we just, you know, and my homegirl, she has a degree in, I forgot, she gonna kill me, but it's something with health. I'm sorry. But yeah, so, you know, she's trying to pursue things in that as well. So it's like, you know, we're trying to better ourselves, you know.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, not only is she a hot girl, but she's a college educated hot girl.
Thriving.
Well, like Jay said, all good things must come to an end. Please show the same love to my friends, dear Summer. We had a special guest. Once again, our hot girl, expert, Tam.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being.
Any parting words to the people, Tam?
No, have a good night.
All right, once again, shout out that IG though, so people can follow you.
Lights, Tamera, action.
Y'all got that?
Thank you.
Yep.
That was fun.
In front and center, Banks on the beat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back out here. Banks on the beat at Blue Water Banks. And my man's to the right.
Proud of Africa. Can't think of my handle right now, so it's Proud of Africa.
POF Africa.
Yeah.
POF Africa, exactly.
And as always, I'm the beloved one. In the bodega, they call me David. I be DJ Spellmine. So, people, you gotta get on the podcast. Anchor.fm/JackofAllSpaceCLT. Like, subscribe, listen, share. You know, tell your mother, tell your father, send a telegram. Make grandma listen to it. Make your little baby listen to it while you're washing them up. All of that. So we on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and there's a few that I don't even know the names, but we're on everything. We're on all platforms. And we'll see you guys next time.